Welcome back, everyone, to Wake of the Red Death. Almost said Currents of War because last time when we did a Currents of War game, I accidentally said Wake of the Red Death, or was it the reverse? I don't remember. That's funny. I've made a hell of my own making. Anyway, it's Wake of the Red Death, specifically, the one about being in the wake of the plague while war is brewing. Not the one about the war that's brewing, but the one about being in the wake of the plague, but also has war brewing. Because Middle Ages. Anyways, last time you guys met John Hammerschmidt, a nice chimera crafter who is taking care of all the creatures for the chimera baiting tournament, and seems to have some ethical qualms with the whole practice of chimera baiting that sadly he has had to swallow to make a living in this hell of a world. This bitch of an earth, as it were. You proceeded to bring your chimera into the world of love and care, and now it's going to get fucking juiced, as they say in Godzilla King of the Monsters, to be ready to fight for the tournament. As you retired to the Bubo's perch for some libations and nourishment, you noticed two of the other participants in the tournament, the baiters of the tournament, as it were. A strange woman with very large metal gauntlets that don't seem particularly articulate. In fact, they're kind of like giant metal mittens, who is struggling to eat her food while wearing a very heavy cloak and hood to hide her face, and one assumes long, luxurious hair, as well as a very sketchy looking wizard sitting next to a huge, hulking, vaguely corpse-like looking man with a giant triangular helm that's bolted into his head somehow. And that's where we left off.
Is there art of them?
Mm-hmm.
I believe there are sprites.
They're in the art room.
I unfortunately did not manage to get anything colored over.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it turns out being to Colorado for 5 days was a lot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, sure.
I almost,
It was a lot.
missed you by like a day or two. Because my family's supposed to go up to Colorado like yesterday. That's funny.
That's kind of funny.
Right. I do make sure to pop up the art whenever people are, like, new characters are mentioned, or it's been a while. So it'll be in the recording regardless.
Yeah, there's no art of the creepy wizard, but, you know, don't worry about it.
That big hulking dude, he does not look human.
Yeah, you figured that out last time. He looks like some sort of undead monstrosity.
Flesh automaton?
Possible. Very, very possible.
God forbid he's a Morbian.
What you know is that particular corpsey, grayish, greenish skin tone and decay of flesh, that necrosis that he's got going on, that's beyond normal lich rot. So whatever's going on there probably is involving some necromancy.
Yeah.
Speaking of undead monstrosities, Cassidy is going to watch the woman as she struggles to lift food to her face with some forlorn, sympathetic expression of like, same girl. And then she's going to vanish.
Oh no! Cassidy?
And then she is going to attempt to levitate the burger.
TJ?
Do you levitate the burger?
As she's eating it.
Oh wait, you're levitating the Gorgon's burger?
Oh, wait,
The lady The lady with the mitten hands who's struggling to lift food.
Right, that's what I meant. Yeah, you as you locate the burger, she looks at it as like, fuck. She looks around when she takes a bite. Okay. All right.
And Cassidy will just continue invisibly holding it.
And she eats the invisible burger while trying to figure out who is doing this and why.
I don't know. I don't know that person.
Thank you, she says to no one in particular.
And Cassidy drifts back over to the group.
That's her good deed for the day.
That was very kind of you, Cassidy.
You don't appreciate food until it's gone.
Or does a snappy motion to a point?
That's a good point.
It's kind of like the you right.
What?
You're
Yeah,
right.
what?
You're right. Are you feeling better today, Cassidy?
I think so.
Good.
And the Gorgon finishes her burger, pats her hand on the table. Cool. I'm going to my room now. And she,
I think
while
you freaked
looking
her out,
around,
Cassidy.
heads upstairs.
Cassidy, I think you just freaked her out.
A benevolent haunting. Count your blessings.
God.
Jurassic Park is melting in the dark.
I've believed in ghosts ever since I tripped down the stairs, but someone caught me. No one was there.
Is Janice being malevolently haunted?
Yes.
Arguably, we all are.
Yeah. But to be fair, I'm the only one dating the ghost.
Yeah, there's malevolent hauntings, benevolent ones, and then there's benign, aka having a roommate.
Yeah.
And there's romantic hauntings, but you need a pottery wheel for that. Okay, I'm funny.
Cassidy, probably avoid the necromancer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he might put you into a jar or something.
Yeah, there's some like watchful looks not at Cassidy, but like for Cassidy.
Mm.
Like, I don't trust other people here. Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
What is it?
Okay, well, first of all, I know this is going to sound bad, but I just want to get this out of the way. I am in no way ashamed for I am in no way ashamed for my I in no way feel ashamed for my feelings towards you. I just want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't know how to tell my sister I'm dating Ghost.
Does she know you're a necrophile?
Oh, don't call me that.
That's
Have you-
technically correct, though.
I mean,
An ectophile. Ectophile.
I mean, what you could do is you could try to make clay pot and then have her Cassidy's hands over you. That typically conveys the intent.
Stole my joke.
Yeah,
asshole.
have you tried making clay pottery?
I stole
I
my joke,
don't-
asshole.
I don't understand.
Kevin Bacon's Ghost, I believe the movie's
There's a
called.
movie where this lady falls in love with a ghost, and she's like making pottery, and the ghost guides her hands around it, and it's weirdly sensual pottery making.
I see. I've dropped a lot on her since we've been here, and I say, I don't really know how to.
We could make out in front of her.
That would. I think that might. I don't know. That might give her a heart attack.
As your new high philosopher, I instate this new rule. You're allowed to romance the ghosts.
A
See,
waitress passes by and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I heard some of your conversation, and you should just tell your sister it's okay to be gay." And she
listen.
gives you a reassuring pat on the back and walks
Hey,
off and continue doing
Who's
her
that? Who
job.
did this? Who did this?
This is just a waitress.
It's okay to be.
It's okay.
It's
to be
okay.
gay.
It's okay. We're in Greece.
Everyone's gay.
First of
When
all,
in
As long as
Rome,
you hate
do
women while doing it.
when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
yes, that is why I'm here to burn down the patriarchy.
When in Rome, do who the Romans do.
You must respect the local custom.
But all the Romans are doing Pauly Shore.
Ugh.
I don't think we gotta follow that.
No, we
Listen.
don't.
Listen, we don't talk about Beta Polybius.
Oh, I get that reference.
I hope so.
You should. You drew him.
Being a beta seems like it was Polybius's greatest fear.
All
All I can imagine now is that
until he realized it was even worse being an Omega.
Holy Polybius. You're a skibbity sigma or whatever they say.
Fuck off.
Uh,
My
yeah,
God.
all I can
Polybius-
imagine now is just someone calls him a twink. And I am a twunk, all right? That's a combination of twink and hunk.
If you want to tweet, go talk to James.
God damn it. God, I completely lost my train of thought, guys.
Frickin' waitress said it's okay to be gay and walked away.
Yeah, no, it's not the.
Yeah, how does one break it to your sister that your current paramour is pushing up the daisies?
And burgers.
Look, it's like, my God.
Paramore.
She's pushing up the daisies. She is an ex-maid.
It's your paramours from the moors.
Paramore, Barrowmore.
God damn it.
From the
I can't.
Baronies.
My brain wasn't running completely today to begin with. Now it's just melted. Thanks, guys.
I am your romance partner from the
Hey,
Barrows.
hey. It's okay to be gay.
Oh my God.
You're a baromantic.
Please get
Get it.
me.
Why
I
are
am
you,
your romance partner.
why are you torturing me?
That's what
Make it
D&D
too
is
easy.
about. Oh, wait, we're playing Fabula Ultima. Shit.
Exactly.
That's the point of
Uh,
hanging out with friends.
There you go. Anyway, God, fuck, fucking hell. I don't think I can avoid being gay because I'm male and female now. I guess.
No matter what, it's gay.
Does that mean it's only gay
Yeah.
if you find another person who's male and female?
No, because it's same gender and I'm both genders.
It's
think.
technically a different gender because it's both genders.
No.
Something. No one can tell if I'm a boy or a girl. Therefore, anyone who finds me attractive is gay.
Yeah.
I'm not gay. I'm making you gay.
My favorite response to that is, do you want me to answer the question, or would you rather kiss me and see how you feel afterwards?
That is pretty good. Fucking hell. I can't think straight.
Right.
That was on purpose. You fell for my trap, Raven.
Hmm?
I'm funny now.
I got it.
Um. If you think we should tell her, we will.
I
I'm
think
just-
you should introduce me.
I mean, I've introduced you. It's not as my partner.
Then maybe we should just make out in front of her.
It's a good thing they're wearing a mask. You know, we haven't really kissed or anything since the first time. I mean, you did possess me, which is like intimate in a different way.
That was rather intimate.
Yeah, my soul's got all jumbled around. Janice takes Cassidy's hand.
Cassidy takes it.
I know we need to find. I know you're looking for somebody, and I'm going to help you do that. And if you decide you don't want to stay afterwards, I will respect that as well. But if you decide you do want to stay, there are ways that we can do that.
Let's see where the road takes us.
It's taken me to places that I never thought possible. My roads like converged.
Janice, my heart has taken me places I wouldn't go with an axe.
Why an axe specifically?
Well, they do more damage than a sword, but they swing quicker than a mace.
Oh, Skyrim.
I see. I mean, I don't, but I'm sure there's meaning. Once we're done here, we'll go talk to Beatrice. I'm not going to offer my body again so you can eat because that didn't end well the first time. But we do have some god bread.
I got stuck on the way in, you got soul sick, and also I think you gained a few pounds.
Yeah. I think more than a few.
Cassidy takes the god bread.
As long as we have a loaf left for my plan, it's fine.
I'll do my best. I think I figured out Cassidy's personality. I think she's just Carrie from Gumball.
I'm okay with that.
How are we all feeling about this tournament? This battle royale?
Anxious, of course.
Yeah.
The series one was alright, but the sequel sucked.
What?
How do we feel about Battle Royale?
I said this battle royale. I was specific.
I think it's a good format, and all video games should ascribe to it.
Oh no. Yeah, well, I don't particularly care for battle royales. I think they're a tired trend.
Okay.
I think they're cool in concept and sometimes in execution, but people have become obsessed with them as of late, and it's gotten a little obnoxious, if I'm being honest.
As
As of late, that got old. That got old 5 years ago.
I was gonna say there was a boom and then there's a really quick bust.
Yes.
Now everyone's all about the hero shooter, although that's apparently busting.
I mean, that was booming back when Overwatch era, but I'm not contributing to this anymore. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm not trusting myself.
Valve's new one seems to be doing fine.
Let's play an actually fun game.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're playing
So we know our plan, and we're not going to kill any of the other Chimera who want to knock them unconscious. That's why Uli's got what Uli's got. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We can try.
That's all we can do. The other Chimera, we've got, thanks to, oh my god, Brain? Brain, why? Leica, fuck. My brain's not working. Thanks to Leica, we have an idea of what to expect from the other Chimera. The people, though, is something else entirely. Don't all speak up at once.
I'm thinking. I woke up at 2 today. It's 5 now.
I've been thinking.
My period has been kicking my ass for like a week.
The hell have you been drinking? Is it beer? Is it wine? Oh my god, it's turpentine.
So we should at least have at least one of us at least supplement Yuli.
Yeah,
So
As you found out, there were 5 slots for people to enter as baiters.
Yeah, we're all joining.
yeah, that's what I
Yep.
mean. Like,
How convenient.
and it's
But I
battle
think-
royale, so like 4 of us can take a singular chimera at a time, whereas one of us stays back to back up Uli.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am the one with the most supportive magic, but I feel like I should be close to the rest of you to heal you if you need it.
Alex isn't much of a fighter, so he probably should, be with this scary baby.
That's the wonderful thing about Alex is I can't remember how the meme goes. It's like, no, he doesn't hit you. However, he makes you feel real bad about yourself.
How dare you hurt this precious baby?
He inflicts emotional damage, which leaves deeper scars.
That's a good point. How do you feel about joining Uli, Alex?
Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, but we're trying to
The
make
way
a plan.
I know, but the way I see it, it's a battle royale. There's no predicting what's going to happen. They could be throwing in curveballs.
Of course, but we can't just go in blind. We need to think of something. It might all fall apart immediately, but we need to, try. We know what we want. We know what our end goal is, and what was that like?
I was gonna ask TT something.
Oh.
I meant to ask last session, but I was cut off. Would it be possible to upgrade my weapons to get a multi-property on them?
Eventually, but no one can do that for you here.
Okay. We're at low upgrade armor, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, we need just a general battle plan. If it falls apart immediately, it falls apart.
I can zoom back and forth if need be. I think I have the footwork to be able to get back and forth pretty quickly.
You're definitely the fastest. Alex is good at eviscerating people, emotionally.
He just bats his giant baby eyes.
Gore can teleport, though. So that's at least 2 of us who can get back and forth quickly. Not to mention Cassidy can just vanish.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for my next rogue level up. That one's gonna be fun. I'm gonna take the one where you can spend a fabulous point to immediately disappear and reappear in a later scene.
So Alex, you gonna hang with Uli at the start then?
I suppose so. I imagine these people are likely to charge me if I'm next to a giant monster.
I did think about that. You have been understandably anxious about that. So I did think that having you with Uli would, opposite. Oh God, I can't think tonight. Oh my God, would dissuade people from going after you initially. And if they do, Uli's there, and you can make them feel bad about going after you and Uli. I'd like to be in between our 2 groups so I could go one way or the other to heal whoever needs it. But I feel that would put me out in the open.
Above game, I know our location generally won't matter too much.
No, but we're going on to do it.
Okay.
I'm trying to have an in-character discussion, DZ.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Well then.
We have our reverie.
Yep. Alex is gonna finish up his dinner and just. Well, I'm gonna hit the hay early. I'm gonna need the rest for tomorrow.
Hey, you're right, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just naturally worried about this.
You know, you don't need to take part, Alex.
I'm choosing to though. Someone has to. And if I backed out now, that's another rogue variable in the equation. Somebody who may not have the best of intentions.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a little worried about you. I haven't seen you this hesitant in quite a while.
Well, normally when we rush into danger, there's very little choice about it. This is technically a choice. I mean, this tournament is technically for fun. Is it any less dangerous than when we ran into a bandit stronghold? When we knew they also had a giant man-eating monster?
I mean, we did befriend the man-eating monster.
Yes, and it was incredibly stressful, in fact. Something you may not have noticed because you were inside. I was deeply worried. I'm not worrying overly much about this. This is my normal amount of worry when I know the danger is coming. I appreciate the concern, though. I acknowledge that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed now.
All right.
You know, that upstairs or wherever it is that the beds are kept.
Yeah, we have the choice of here or Beatrice's. I am going to go back to Beatrice's with Cassidy.
All right.
What about you, Gore? Gore. Oh, it'd be a beat chickens. Like, you're staying here, right, guy, at the Bubo's Perch?
Well, that
You're staying at the Bubo's Perch, right?
yeah.
Okay. We'll find out about Gore when Raven gets back.
Leica, as Janice and Cassidy leave, you overhear that horrible little wizard talking to his hulking companion with the triangular helm. And we'll show that fucker. We'll show that Ozzy that we're a genius. I'm a genius, and then I'll get back into his little city of wonders. These crabs are really good.
Like is just gonna not be obvious that she's listening in, but since can I do another like insight on how he's talking to the thing to figure out what the thing is?
Yes, but it's gonna be difficult. This is a very obscure piece of magic in universe. One could say that it took several chapters of a novel to actually be able to find it out. So this is gonna be a 14, and I am not giving you any bonuses.
Well, yeah, that was not doing that. That's only
Yeah.
5.
Looks
It
like
can't
a
hurt you,
big
guys.
creepy guy. It's one big creepy guy sitting there, all right.
Janice thinks he's Frankenstein.
Yeah. A flesh man.
Mm-hmm. So, does anything else happen than the Bubo's perch?
Well, other than that, it's pretty quiet. If you want, you guys can go to bed. If you have any, did we have any interlude scene business we didn't get to finish last time?
Don't think so. I think
Janice wants to
everything-
talk to Beatrice, but
I mean, like stat wise, but yeah, we can do that. Yeah, if you guys have any last bits, we can do the last bits, and then we can get on to the tournament.
dun dun.
You go back to Beatrice's place and find her with your student. Brain worky, please.
Now you know how I felt.
Gwendolyn.
All day
Gwendolyn.
today. Gwendolyn, yes.
Your student Gwendolyn, studying various magic spells.
Hey, Gwen,
Yeah?
could I have a moment with Beatrice? private
Yeah,
moment?
okay. She packs up her stuff and goes into another room. What's up?
Well, I know you've had to hear a lot since I've been back. Lots of things have changed, obviously. But, well, you've met Cassidy. I've introduced you.
I don't think she actually has she actually met Cassidy?
Cassidy came out of last session when said that she is having
Okay,
a
okay.
destructive panic spiral.
Yeah. Cassidy.
Hi there, hello.
Hey.
Well, as you know, or at least I think you knew. Did you know? I had a bit of a part of me, the brother part, had a bit of a taste for the monstrous.
Beatrice looks at you and her face kind of twists where she's trying to keep a nice non-judgmental look on her face. While inside she's like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Where the hell is this conversation going?
Yes, Janice, where is this conversation going?
Yeah, who's monstrous here?
Well, I have developed feelings for Cassidy.
They're saying we're dating.
Okay, that's fine. She takes Janice like, can't call your girlfriend monstrous.
I mean,
Unless she's into that.
I'm pretty sure she is. If it wasn't for the being dead part, I think she'd adore being a ghost.
I have no eyes.
Well, you look great.
Doesn't she?
Beatrice
Sorry.
looks at you is like, don't. That's your girlfriend. What are you doing? I'm your sister.
I died
It's
from
the
the
weird
plague.
conversation.
Hey, I thought you should know because, a lot has been going on and I was a little nervous to tell you because I've already dropped so much on your lap. She motions at her belly, and you've already got so much on your lap.
And the conversation just keeps getting more awkward from there as we flash forward to the morning. never an argument, just a full-on fucking episode of The Office.
I did not expect that to escalate as far as it did, Janice.
I did not expect that to be how you phrased any of that.
Janice's just face pressed into whatever. I hope I die today. I hope one of the chimeras kills me. That could not have been any more awkward.
I can't believe you called me a bloodstained cadaver.
Did I?
And your sister a behemoth.
Whoa! Okay, I mean, I don't...
Look here, I may have been disassociating during that conversation, but I did not say those things.
Yeah, I
I think we all did by the end.
may have disassociated partway through the conversation. Definitely didn't say those two things.
Or did you?
Or did you?
Oh God, did I?
You won't.
Did I?
Did you?
Yeah.
Never forget that part of being in a relationship is that they get to make fun of you.
Cassidy? Pardon the pun. I think this might be the liveliest you've been since we've been here.
I don't know what that says about me.
It says that you
Ghost
had
is suffering some microaggressions today.
I think it says that Cassidy's kind of a brat.
No, it says Cassidy's depressed. It says she's depressed, and this is the most depressed she's been in this city. Oh, we should go get the others.
Cassidy pats Janice on the head. Hey.
Uh-huh.
You did just fine. For the first 5 minutes.
No.
And then she leans in and pecks Janice on the nose.
Oh,
Objectively, no, she did not. No, they did not.
Trying not to hurt their feelings.
Thanks. I appreciate the sentiment. God, I could have gone about that so much better.
No, you did perfectly.
Cassidy.
Now
You
you're just
did.
lying. Why are you
You did.
lying?
You did perfectly.
Now you're just making fun of me.
I know, and I love it.
What the heck, Cassidy?
You don't understand. I was a servant. I never got to sass anyone.
Oh. Well, then, sass away.
Oh, I have been.
It's nice to see you like enjoying yourself. She leans over and pecks Cassidy on the nose.
She giggles softly.
Oh. Oh, we should go find the others, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's the next day, right?
We can skip there. All right. Hmm. Welcome, motherfuckers, to the arena.
Oh boy.
this is
Oh damn. Yeah.
Don't. I found this one. I didn't make it myself, so don't give me too much praise.
Mm,
Hey, it's all about procurement.
For Persona, I'm guessing. It's
Yep.
not Persona.
This is Persona 5 Strikers specifically. All right, motherfuckers, time for a tournament. The High Philosopher opens the gates and says, "To everyone's surprise, a battle royale!" And
Oh my
everyone cheers
god!
uproariously as all of the monsters and gladiators are released at the same time.
all right.
Does
So-
Watch of the Gladiators play?
Would love to hear that song in a minor key and see if it would work better the way it's intended. But yeah, the chimeras are all released. Briefly held magically bound until the absolute start of the tournament, as are the two combatants, the two mysterious combatants. Your monster is there, sweet Uli. Technically, this battle is done when every chimera is dead.
Or sleeping.
Indisposed.
Now, if you want to spare the chimeras, then this battle is done when every chimera is subdued, and the two other gladiators are also subdued.
Yes.
The gladiators will, at least initially, attempt to take down the chimeras, because that's how chimera baiting works. It's warrior versus chimera. You guys can do whatever you want to reach your intended conclusion for this tournament. Everyone clear on that?
I have a question.
Yes.
Since this is a battle to the death, am I disqualified?
Or do you automatically win?
Well, they don't really want the chimera baiters to die. It's only the chimeras who have to bite it.
Oh.
You hear that, Janice?
That's how the real life counterpart bear baiting works, or fucking bullfighting works.
I don't want to die.
Yeah,
But you
it's not your guys' job to die; it's the monster's job to die.
I'm a chimera.
Yes, but you're in here as a gladiator, you fucker.
The roll initiative.
Yes, I would say roll initiative.
Alrighty.
Oh boy!
Alright. Let's do
21.
this.
I'm gonna tell you what you guys gotta beat, and the roll you guys gotta beat for initiative is 20.
Well, I could beat it.
Alright. Where's initiative again? Stats?
I think a critical fail gets me a family points.
Well, again, if you remember, initiative is a group check, so really you just have to nominate a leader and hope that they do fucking well,
Yeah.
and that you do well enough to add to their score.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're technically just piling on like this score then.
And where is it?
Like a score
It's,
21.
Yeah, I don't think we need to roll now because I'll let Leica do it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
All right. Then, Leica, that means your team gets to go first.
Does Uli have to roll?
No, he's on your team.
Oh,
I mean, he can, but you won already, so it's pointless.
If you guys like, I can open up on them. So
You can have Uli go first if you want to, since, you know... did I make sure to give you guys control of Uli?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Uli.
sure I did.
yeah,
Yes,
got
we
to
have
see.
control.
Is-
Go
Does
ahead.
Uli see us and react?
Yeah, he's with you.
who
Do
gets
you,
bit?
do you want to say something to him before the fight actually begins?
Uli?
He looks at you with big, wide squid eyes.
So I'm sorry that you have to go through this, but we want to incapacitate all the others and not kill them because you all deserve better.
Uli nods, looks at you, opens his sweet, smiling, Huga-ish mouth and says, "Parent, I crave violence."
Rip and spare, Uli. Rip and spare.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah, I figured it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean
Fucking-
it had to come out, but also parent. That is the non-binary way to say that. Yeah, just parent.
Louis knows better.
Because as much as you can want to raise that kitten to not be a menace, it's still a kitten.
Yeah.
All right, who will deploy the beast?
I'm actually under something, so
That's what it looks like. I don't know what. It might be a flesh golem, but I'm really not sure.
So, do we want Uli to start us off, or like, who's going first?
I think Uli should focus on the big guy here because I think he's going to be one of the biggest.
Threats.
Yeah.
Which big guy? Oh, Jack. What? Yeah, he. That's a good point.
Mr. Armor
The
Blob.
one we're hoping isn't a Mortabairn.
Parent that crave violence.
So let's have Uli open us up then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Uli?
What attack do you want Uli to do?
Let's see.
Uli's got a whole shitload of horrible, nasty stuff they can do.
We don't know what this guy can take. Damn it, like elemental and such wise, but I think we should immobilize him immediately, honestly. And it can go up to 3 targets, honestly, so we should get like immediately immobilize 3 people.
Yeah.
Assuming that doesn't fail, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good starting salvo. What do you guys think?
It's a good idea. I think Armor Dude and probably... I don't trust that cat snake. So,
The question
Can
You trust
Yeah.
and the
the
serpent.
hunting beast?
no, I don't.
Questing-
I'd say Armor Dude, Super Hunting Beast, Alrachni, and Big Dude is my.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. The hunting beast. God, is it questing beast or hunting beast?
Hunting Beast.
It is a hunting beast because questing beasts are what it's a variant of.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
It's a
a hunting beast
subspecies.
might be The hunting beast might be the other nastiest chimera here. So, yeah, hitting that one is definitely what we want to do, especially because it has so much immunity and stuff.
Look, they made a weasel. I don't trust that.
All right.
So just roll a magic check.
Let's see. The Hooga
I think
Spit.
so.
Yeah.
17. God, that's a 6, a 6, and a 5.
Now, are you hitting 3 targets or 1?
Let's see. If the attack succeeds,
It says up to
are mobilized for 2 times your skill level rounds of combat and can take no action during this turn. Costs 10 MP per target. So it would cost.
Let's go for 3.
So it'd be 30,
Yeah,
it would take 30 MP.
Yeah.
Then you gotta tell me which 3.
Armored Dude, Alrachne, and Hunting Beast.
All right. Let me look at their stats.
Has how much MP? 89. So we're on to 59.
Oh, damn. Alrachne, the Mortal Bairn, and the Hunting Beast are all trapped in the sticky goo.
Damn.
Yes.
As your chimera vomits out a gout of sticky, sweet-smelling, pinkish goo that just wrapped them entirely. Trapping them on the ground and denying them their action for 2 times skill level rounds. So what is the skill level of Hooga Spit?
Magic. The Hooga Spit skill level
3. It's in under classes.
6.
So 2 times 3, that's 6 rounds.
Jesus. You know, who cares about his other abilities? Let's just stick everyone to the ground and then wail on them.
Just spit. Like the wind, Willie. I mean, this is exactly why we gave them. Can we tell Willie gender?
Creature.
You know. And make a double insight check. Difficulty of 12.
Okay.
I thought Not Hammond said something on this, but I don't remember.
Not Hammond couldn't tell.
Oh,
Well, not Hammond couldn't tell the sex of the baby.
right.
I like it got 13.
So,
If we want to know the baby's pronouns, we can simply ask them.
We can, yes.
While Uli is not purely dragon, dragons do not have a concept of gender in their own culture.
okay.
They are all agender by default, and in fact struggle with gender terminology when trying to learn human languages.
Oh, okay.
It's not uncommon for dragons to call humans man or woman completely at random.
That was me.
Because
when
they don't understand the distinction.
That was me learning Spanish. It's like, what do you mean the boat is a woman? It's a boat!
Yeah, essentially their reaction to the gender of humans is like Myra and German's gender.
What?
Furniture is gendered in German.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right?
That's bizarre.
What the fuck?
Blame the Nazis.
Okay, so Uli has no gender, honestly.
What was the inside check for, TT? Since I like to roll a
That,
14.
learn it knowing that.
Oh.
So that
You and I
like
know
if
that.
granted that culture is necessarily like inherent to dragons, but if Uli retains any dragon memories or whatever, then Uli's probably going to be genderless.
Okay. With their whole thing, Janice can relate to that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Gender cannot contain them.
Okay, so that was the first turn of your side.
Yeah,
Mystery
turn now.
Warrior Gorgon, it's your turn. She, now that the fight has started, whips off her cloak and cowl and reveals that, oh my god, she was a Gorgon the whole time. With a huge mane of bristling snakes, and shouts, I demand an audience with Minerva! Before shooting a ray of petrification at which monster would be most fun to do this to? Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and do it to the fucking reverse griffin, see how that works out.
Peter.
So it's 10 plus 8.
Oh.
So that's 10 plus 10, so that's 20 against magic defense. Okay, reverse griffin definitely did not tank that. The reverse griffin is stone.
Oh shit! Does that mean they're out?
They are. The reverse griffin is out of the tournament. Not
Shit.
dead yet. They'd have to break the statue to make it dead, but essentially indistinguishable from dead in some respects.
Hmm.
Like, we could probably bring about the right spell or alchemist
You-
nonsense.
You can reverse petrification. But yeah, it's a rock now.
All the Chimera Bidders.
Now
There are
we're-
only 6.
that is very concerning that we could be petrified at any moment.
You're right. Turn for you guys.
All right, who wants to go now?
Would you mind if I went and just kind of nuked the field?
Go ahead.
Fucking nuke away.
Alright. So basically, summon my nonsense, and then I'm going to boop. And plus 5 is not there actually, so it's just 30 dark damage. So yeah, everyone who's not us or Uli is getting hit by that, including the other fighters.
Except
Is
for
that your
the stone
Arcanum?
statue. I
Except
imagine.
the stone statue, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
he's out. So everyone got 30 dark damage.
Except for
Cool.
us.
Except for us.
Except for us.
Yeah, that ability's bullshit.
Damn.
No
You
one
just
will-
unloaded your big gun immediately.
Well, the problem with that is I have plenty of, of
MP.
MP, and I can regenerate more at any time.
I forgot how beefy some of these guys are.
Hmm.
I just figured let's get some damage on everybody, and that's the biggest gun I got.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
Very good. The Octomaid slither creeps to the Gorgon. The Kraken maid, I should say. Oh shit. She actually stands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll just say she could still stick for good measure.
Why are you
Oh, wait, why would she hit the other monsters? That makes no sense. Yeah, she'd hit all of you guys and the Chimera. William, why are you moving them into the space? You know you don't have to do that. It's Fabula Ultimate. We're not doing
Yeah.
fucking D&D rules. Okay. Doesn't have to make geographical sense. Okay. Whoops, should have been 8. Okay, there we go. So 8 plus 5. So, anyone whose defense is 13 or lower, you take 18 physical damage as the Kraken spins around and hits 6 of you with her fucking tentacles.
Leica dodges. Leica's unharmed.
The defense is needs 18 or lower.
13.
13 or lower.
13 or lower.
There's 18
For a
down.
total of 18.
Where is my defense?
13 lower, 18 dodges on.
All right.
Yeah,
It's been a while since we've actually like, had combat, so I'm like, where is this?
It's in stats under initiative and defense.
And how much damage was that?
18.
Oh, I am absolutely hit by that. Okay.
It misses
so,
Leica by a mile. Fuck.
so it's 18. Since Chitters isn't on the field yet, does Chitters take that? Because I send Chitters, Chitters essentially replaces me for that turn.
Mm-hmm.
And probably not,
So
if that's
Chitters
all
is
it
not gone yet, so what's your rule in there, TT?
Chitters isn't out yet, so I said no.
Okay. Oh my god. I am very squishy. It's our turn now. How
The
you?
music hit right as you said that.
What?
The music hit right as you said that.
So every like a took.
Seems like
Gang. How are you guys looking now? You looking all right?
I'm not in crisis yet.
I'm not in crisis yet.
All right. Then I'm going to. So how does a bonus action work in Fabula Ultima?
What do you mean bonus action?
Because for the toxins, you wrote that you spend a bonus action to, you know, use it.
What?
Spend an IP point to coat your weapon with
That's-
it as a bonus action during combat.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that means that when you spend an IP point and your weapon is now coated with that. That's it.
That's my whole turn?
No, that's your...
Or is that...
You
Okay.
spend
okay.
an IP point and now your weapon is coated with it. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all that means.
Okay. Alrighty. How many of these did I have? Where's my IP points? I'm going to whistle for hitters. Let's see, who's not currently... Oh, God. There goes my character sheet. So, this Kraken is not... That's the one that just hit us real bad. So I'm gonna go for that. Which... Poison. Here we go. Inside. Yeah, Fish Slayer Toxin. Alright, Chitters, let's see. Yeah, I coat Chitter's brass knuckles. The jaw. Hey. My character sheet won't show up. I coat that with Fish Slayer Toxin. Okay, there's the Chitters. Where are you? Here we go. So Chitters is going to go for... Temple Insight... No, I can... Chitters wants to score damage. Double Might... still insight. Okay, well, they're the same, aren't they? So we've talked about how entrail spray is not fatal for chitters.
Mm-hmm.
Would you doing that still use the toxin I just applied, or no? Would I
You
need to
apply
bite?
the toxin to Chitter's mouth, don't you?
Yeah, the
Yeah, I don't think that
prosthetic
applies because
thingy?
the entrail spray is Chitter's, shooting boiling acid from its, abdomen.
good point. Did not think. Oh, yeah. So double might. 2d8. 11. Plus skill level. So 14. Does a 14 hit this one?
The Kraken Maid.
Kraken Maid.
Yeah, that's
Cool. That's going to be high roll. So 7 plus 3 plus 25.
so 35 damage.
35 damage.
Hachimachi, that's some spicy meatball. She didn't like that at all.
Chitter's in indignation at that attack on Janice and fucking bites into one of its tentacles.
All right. Half Minotaur, half Centaur charges up to you, Janice, in retaliation and attacks.
Hey, wait.
Does 11 hit you defense-wise?
Didn't I get better armor? I guess I still just have shitty defense. I think Chitters takes that because Chitters is out, so Chitters would get in
All right,
the way.
Chitters takes the blow for you. All right.
Yeah.
Chitters takes 15 damage
Oof.
as the half Centaur, half Minotaur uses its terrifying hooves to just trample Chitters.
Oh wait, wait, no, Chitters does not. What was the roll to hit?
11.
12? 11? No, it fails because Chitters has a defense of 15, so Chitters actually stops the Minotaur.
All right, TT.
Mm-hmm.
So all the other Chimera bears have to go down for us to win. So we can't talk to the Gorgon to join us.
Everyone has to be subdued. If you want to save the Chimeras, you have to subdue everybody.
So we can't talk to Gorgon Lady to join our side because she's basically doing what we're doing.
Seems like.
Leave that to me.
Okay.
You might be able to. You might be able to try. I'm not gonna say no for sure.
All right. Well, I will leave that to the Orator. Meanwhile, for the Middle Bowl,
Which has just been like.
that's a 26 to hit.
Fucking Christ!
That's a 28. That's the max
attacking
damage
the
for me
Minotaur?
on
The
the
Minocentaur?
non-lethal obvious.
So 26. How do you non-lethal stab someone?
I'm just gonna run up its back and just pommel strike it right between the horns,
Like the
Okay.
back of the skull.
like with a
Okay.
blunt for blade.
Okay, so you're doing 28 damage.
Wait,
You do some pretty good damage to this Minocentaur.
Wait, I thought. Did you do 28 damage, or is that what you rolled to hit?
That
8 plus 20 dark.
Oh my
That's
god!
28.
Fucking Christ!
and let's do it again.
It's unconscious, Kay.
Critical fail.
That's a critical failure.
Oh,
But except the fact that it's a critical failure.
They automatically fail.
Damn. Oh well.
What happens with the
That
critical fail?
means. Oh, that means 1, you get a Fabula point. 2, I have to make something bad happen to you all.
Ooh, fuck.
Let me dig this up. It's been a while, so I'm a little rusty on the crit fails. Bum, 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 bum. So technically this is a fumble. So the opposition gets an opportunity. What are we doing for the opportunity here? That'd be funny. Oh, this is mean. But it is what makes sense. As you go for another pommel strike on the back of the Minnow Centaur, it bucks wildly and hits your hand before the hand can properly connect, knocking your Latrodectus out of your hand and across the arena. To recover it, you will have to spend 1 turn picking it up and another turn equipping it.
I can take care of that.
I guess to recover
Okay, like
someone will have to spend 1 turn picking up and someone will have to spend 1 turn equipping it.
Like a look to Cassidy, see who's going for it, nods.
Does that make it my turn?
If you want it to be.
Okay.
Are they all gone?
Oh, yeah. No. There's one enemy who hasn't gone yet. It's one monster has to go yet. The giant crawling lizard with 2 snakes growing out of its head, a dragon growing out of its tail, approaches Gore. Are you, Serpent Sky? There you are, my buddy. Ooh, yeah, okay. And its head one of its heads looks like it has looks sort of like a nasty viper, but with like 8 fangs rather than 4. And it lashes out and bites you with its horribly venomous fangs.
Don't you dare quick strike.
Does 25 hit you, Gore?
Fuck.
Yes. Jesus.
You take 36 poison damage.
Oh, damn. Well, that's funny. Because that's the exact amount needed to take me out.
Oh no, you're down?
Yeah.
That is funny. There are ways to bring them back up, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, seriously, that was the exact amount I had.
It's fucking funny. Especially since, like, the whole thing about the Dipsa, the head that has the multiple fangs in mythology, is that Dipsas are so venomous that, like, even like the faintest bit of their venom can kill a person instantly. So mechanically speaking, that's serendipitous. All right, now all the monsters and other contestants have gone or have been incapacitated. So anyone who still has a turn left, go ahead.
Okay, Cassidy is going to cast Acceleration on Leica.
Oh,
Ooh. Does that give them 2 actions? They're going to go for a single additional action, yeah, during each of their turns.
you basically just casted demon mode on Leica.
Or in this case, deactivated the extra turns she's gonna need to get her weapon back.
Yeah. So now you could get it all back in a single round. And then you can go hog.
And then you get an extra action.
Yeah. Alex.
Although Gore has been down, you are the medic. Gonna leave that to you. I am instead going to use my ability to weaken the Gorgon. Spend an act. Okay, so she has to make a contesting insight willpower.
Okay. What is your insight willpower, friendo? Okay. She gets a 13.
Flying colors.
So, I still want to roleplay this. What do you say to try and make her feel guilty?
Oh, that's a good question.
Good question, Mega Man.
Sure, he'll flub it. I sure hope your intention to seeing Minerva is noble.
And keep in mind, if this is a Gorgon we're talking about, she gives you a withering look of just
A withering look from a Gorgon is deadly.
Dismissive, just a completely dismissive, "Are you fucking kidding me?" sort of expression.
You didn't
Microaggression against the minority.
So you didn't mean it that way, but that comes off as a wee bit racist.
Yes.
Well, yes, something such as you better have
Innocently insensitive. But that shall be my turn, yes.
Back up to the top of the round.
That would be Uli.
Yeah, what's Uli gonna do?
Second verse, same as the first, gang?
He has the MP for it, right? So why not?
Time to goop. So it's 3 more. How much MP do they have left?
1, 2, 3.
Magic. No stats. They have 50. So this is their last big spit. So that's 20 left.
I have a question. Actually, I have 2 questions. Do we have to go in the same order we did beforehand?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You can
Second
change it up
question.
whenever you want.
Second question. There's not a concentration check type thing in this game, is there?
Nope.
Generally,
Nope.
no.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm gonna I would like to cast acceleration on Yuli then.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, that's horrifying.
So, hold off on that roll. That's for the next turn, then.
We roll it for the next turn then.
Yeah.
But you're casting acceleration on Uli. God damn. Alright. While you do that, the Gorgon goes up to her next victim.
Which is...
The Kraken Maid.
Maid.
Alright, shoot.
Okay, 10%.
Alex should count his blessings that she doesn't turn him to stone.
Yeah.
Um,
Stone a motherfucker if he looks at me wrong.
Kraken Maid stone!
Yes!
We will have to take her down.
Yeah, which I think Uli can probably try and do right now by spitting on her.
Focus fire.
Uli now has
That's
2
only
actions.
3 left.
So reroll the venom, the hookah spit. Uli. Oh god, it's so weird to have multiple people on the same character sheet because things just move.
Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
Same roll.
Does a 16 hit the Gorgon?
Magic defense or defense? You gotta specify that.
I think magic.
It's a magic attack.
Yeah, magic.
This is magic check.
Then that does in fact hit the Gorgon. Yes.
She's down. She is restrained for 6 turns.
She screams obscenities in anger.
Who else is left that hasn't been stoned or?
Quick strike.
Oh, this
Snake-
guy.
Snake
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, snake bitch. Does it hit snake bitch?
If it's like a snake bitch.
Does it hit quick strike?
Yeah, it hits snake bitch.
Quick strike is down, and the Minotaur.
The Minimal.
The Minotaur.
The Minotaur.
It definitely hits the
Mano-
Minocentaur. The Minocentaur has a magic defense of 0.
Jesus.
But everyone's down.
They're not down, they're just restrained.
Restrained, yeah, but like,
If this goes on too long,
that
they'll-
count, TT?
As 2 of the competitors are turned to stone, and the rest are completely encased in goo and incapable of moving, you hear as Stefano Milan says, "Well done! What a magnificent chimera! Now just execute all of those ones, including that uppity Gorgon, and
I
we'll be on our way."
refuse!
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah,
I
hell no.
I demand to speak to Minerva.
The high philosopher looks at you, he's like, "Refuse? But it's the end of the tournament, you've won!"
Yeah, that's not very smart to,
I look up to him. You are no high philosopher.
Oh, where's this aggression coming from?
They pull off. They pull off their mask. Your city, it's been laid to waste, decimated. Yet here you are, creating life just to kill it, celebrating more death after we've suffered so much, and even after the decade of plague.
There are murmurs as everyone begins to react to your words. Some people wondering why the Chimera baiting tournament isn't ending in a spectacular orgy of bloodshed as it's supposed to. Others kind of be like, they've got a point.
I've heard
More than a
stories.
few people just being like, "Oh, it's about time someone told Stefano that he's a piece of shit."
I've heard, yeah, they turn to like the audience, as they're talking. I've heard stories of the great Minerva, the Minervans, the seat of knowledge in Mediterra. But I'm back after being away for so long, and what do I find? A city with doors closed to those who seek knowledge, to those who want to learn. Chimera merely want to do as we do. They want to be with us as equals. And why shouldn't they? They are just as intelligent as we are. They have the same minds that we do. They seek knowledge.
More murmurings of discontent as you start saying some frankly revolutionary shit.
No one here was born into this world knowing all. Even great Minerva herself is always looking, always searching for more information, always trying to expand her horizons. To deny that to other living beings is heretical to her. And yet, you so-called great men of this city, you refuse to even let those of the fair sex even attempt to reach your so-called high, lofty position. But I am here, a wizard and a witch, fused together by magic, neither male nor female, to show you what you have done wrong, Minervans.
There's a lot of murmurs, and then that begins to get an uproar. Stefano raises his hands for people to silence, but they don't pay attention. And then
Where's
you hear
the,
someone say, "Here's a riddle for you. Who's a big jerk who's bad at his job?" And everyone looks and sees Layla Kato.
where's the
private
where's the
box in the Coliseum.
where's the rules for using Fabula points to alter the story? We posted that. Where's
I
that?
think,
Um,
I think the seed's played. So
Here we go. Here we go. Altering the story. Change or add new details. If your alteration directly affects another player character, you cannot use this option to contradict, to cause more. Okay, could I? Because we've spoken to Mars. We've actually had an interaction with a god in, for the first time in a long time. Could I spend a Fabula point for my cries to reach Minerva? It's a big ask. So if no, that's fair.
I'm gonna say a big. I'm gonna say. I don't want to do it like that. How about that?
Okay.
As the audience turns against Stefano, he finally realizes, all right, we will honor your incredibly inflammatory request to spare the lives of these monsters so they may be used in service of our great city.
They will be given the choice.
Minerva, if she deigns to admit you.
Mm.
And there's still like a lot of rumbling as the city doesn't, the rest of the city don't know exactly what to make of these chain events, but some people cheer. And eventually some of the soldiers of Minervans do escort you to the temple.
All right.
Is there some way to unstone those two?
There's magic ways to do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
there are
someone maybe
definitely
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some medical wizards are already getting on the process of unstoning the chimeras because, if we're gonna keep them, we could better keep all of them. And John Hammerschmidt in particular is making sure that they're all taken care of.
Good.
While giving you all a nod of his white wizard hat.
I look to the Gorgon as we're going. I will hear what you have to say once this is through.
She looks at you with piercing serpent eyes and briefly looks away before saying, "That was well spoken."
Oh, coming from somebody like you, that means a lot. Thank you.
What do you mean, somebody like me?
You've suffered as the rest of them have. I have no doubt of that.
Just with phrasing.
Would you beat someone like me?
Do you?
Me and somebody like me, technically non-human, has been prejudiced against.
No,
I
you're
saw that.
Human. You are fully human. You're just
Yes.
two different humans.
But
I
I'm
saw
also
you.
a
You
woman.
keep the company of that awful little twink over there.
PT, I'm gonna sit through the grand philosopher fucking being a misogynist. I've been a prejudiced against.
When you get to the Temple of Minervans, Stefano Milan is waiting there, and looks as furious as you would imagine. And she's like, I don't know where any of that came from. I
It's
don't
tame.
know why you felt that stunt had to be pulled. But the chamber is ready for you. Go ahead and see if our God hears your prayers after that sorry display.
I think you need to think about who had the sorry display and just like brushes past him.
Even other people.
All right.
Here you
There
go,
isn't a-
Angelica.
there isn't a proper altar to Minerva in the Temple of Minervans. Instead, there is a huge chamber, sort of an amphitheater of itself, where there is a massive perch for her bird, Bubo, the owl, the grand owl.
Oh boy.
The perch supposedly was visited by the owl several times in the past, but it has not been seen in a few generations at this point. Say your prayer to the perch, and if the goddess hears you, she will send a sign.
Alex will put a hand on your shoulder. You got this. Just
They look at Alex.
just speak from the heart.
I didn't think I'd get this far, to be honest.
Hey, you
Huh?
got this. You got this.
All right.
Believe in me
What's
who
the-
believes in you.
Looks between everybody. Poor Gore, who's like beaten the fuck up.
He looks like, or he doesn't look fine, but like, he just like the thumbs up, smiles, like half his teeth are missing. They'll grow back in a minute.
You feeling okay there?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you something I did as research when I was writing Wicked Witchcraft, which is the suggested format of praying to the gods of the Olympian pantheon.
Please.
First, you ask them to hear you. You ask the specific god you're praying to hear you. You list their titles and domains, like you say, all the things that they look over, the things they represent, and the things that are boons from them, essentially. You ask whatever name it pleases you to be called. You thank them for the gifts they have given you so far in life, then state your requests in a very humble fashion, and then end with a word of praise.
That was a lot of information.
Here, I'm gonna copy and paste this for you.
Thank you.
The Greeks
The
really
outline.
And the shit talk.
So the
Thank
Greeks and Romans really like to suck off their gods.
I mean, to be fair, the fucking Christians do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's been like
And
4
with
hours.
the Greek gods, at least they give you something back in return sometimes.
Uh,
I kind of
Sometimes.
think a god is a person you made up to kiss ass to.
Hear me, great Minerva, goddess of wisdom, the arts, war. Where are
Do we
titles?
want to like type up an epithet before we say it?
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you can quick do a writer's workshop of your prayer.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll allow
Hear
it.
me, great Minerva, goddess of the arts. Goddess of art. Okay, goddess of art. War and would it be proper to say most importantly of all wisdom?
I reckon
that be-
you pick what you believe is most relevant to this conversation.
Yeah.
Which aspect of her you wish to appeal to?
don't forget goddess of weavers. I know that's kind of bundled into arts, but it is.
But it is
also
appropriate
separate.
given the traders. The
Yeah.
traders.
It
Yeah.
is important enough to be considered separate from her art aspect.
Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of gods of art. Weaving is important because weaving requires great foresight. you have a shitload of different colored strings, and if you want to make a pattern, you have to know what you're doing well before the pattern takes shape. It is wisdom and foresight. It's her, her domain.
What title does Minerva typically have?
Athena, Minerva, Pallas.
Well, titles are things like Thunderbringer, Lord
Yeah.
of the Dead.
Okay. Titles for Athena, Minerva.
Greatest of weavers, something, or most skilled of weavers, something like that.
Okay, some of her titles. Here we go. Athena. Well, these are Athena.
Stormy-eyed Athena, bright-eyed Athena, she
These
who
are
fights in the
Minerva,
front.
So,
Well, Minerva / Athena are the same in Midgehheim.
Yeah. Okay, Minerva, Medica is one, which seems to be like a lesser, less used one because it's medicine and physicians.
It's wisdom and knowledge, just a specific
Yeah.
kind.
Minerva, Medica. She's Stormy Eye. You said, DC.
Stormy-eyed Athena.
So would I know to call her Athena too?
I would say you're worldly enough where you can know that Athena and Minerva are both valid names for her. So is Pallas, Pallas. A title she took from one of the previous wisdom gods of Mediterra.
Okay.
So I think I may have cooked.
Yeah. Oh.
In general shit talk.
Yeah. Oh.
Any suggestions or tweaks to that?
I'm writing it more closer to the outline because there's the specific one. I'll show it when I finish it. I feel like this is a proper for the last one to say. Athena. Then place from which the god would come. Would that mean
Olympus.
Olympus? Okay.
Yeah, because not all the gods of Greece, of antiquity. Well, I mean, some are from the underworld, and then you also do understand that like the Olympians are the big fuckers, but there are like literally hundreds of river gods, freshwater like lakes gods, sea gods, forest gods, minor gods of arts, like me reading into it, the pantheon of gods and goddesses in Greek mythology is actually huge compared to what we're traditionally taught. Just most of them are just like, well, this god hangs out at this one particular stream. That's their deal.
Mm-hmm. It's very animist.
What previous offerings have I made? I mean,
you can't just make it up. Like, how did your Minervan self honor her at all?
I mean, we spared Minervans. I think that's a pretty good offering.
Oh, that's a little much. I don't.
That's not really an offering. That's a victory, which is not nothing, but it's a little like, hey, I saved your city.
Yeah, it feels a little. But like, it could be something simple as offering thanks after like your big test, which oh, thank God I passed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for for like the foresight to carry through and study for my fucking test. Something like that. It's probably something very benign because, you know, your Minervan self was not really big. They were just some dude.
And only kind of a dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I said, it's probably something really benign.
Yeah, I'm thinking of how to word it nicely. Okay. Say,
I also changed mine.
praise and thanks when I've sought your knowledge. I've offered you 2 lives spent seeking wisdom. Oh, thank you.
I don't know if I'd phrase it that way. They might, like, she's smart enough not to take it literally, but if a god can, they might.
Ironically, dithering over whether or not you're phrasing your prayer right probably is, in its way, a prayer to Minerva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's probably a bit of a pause as
This is
gathering
to
their
be
thoughts.
expected, really.
Yeah. This is probably the extreme norm.
Especially because Janice cares about what Minerva thinks. Request or need.
Seeking wisdom, I am born again. I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's see how it is. Or yeah. Need. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't invoking you, mister.
Lurking just around off screen is the fucking owl. Waiting.
Been waiting.
Let's see. So it's like, oh, okay, they're dithering about the prayer, which means they're clearly not arrogant to believe they got it all done in one go. That's clever. Good marks there.
See, I can't help but imagine Bubo doesn't actually talk. It just opens up the mouth like a fucking trash can lid, and Minerva's mouth, like, voice comes out. If you ever ask Bubo's actual opinion, just hoot.
Bubo's hidden somewhere, like taking notes, and talking over us like a golf announcer.
Oh god.
Hi, Ari. Can I help you?
What do I know? I'm just a silly little owl.
Ari. Good kitty. I'm busy.
And how do I end it, TT? After the vow?
You make the vow, and then essentially you're like, well, the vow is the end. You know that's the promise
Okay.
you make in return for
Here is
It seems
what you've asked.
it seems the
what I got.
ask is the end essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
While Janice dithers, I could just see Gore's teeth growing back in real time.
Probably.
I posted what I have. Any thoughts, gang?
Do what you wilt. This is your
Okay.
big character moment.
I think this sounds alright.
All right, I'm gonna get my cup so I can have proper math
Hi.
echo.
7, yeah.
Hear me, great Minerva, goddess of art, weaving, war, and most importantly of all, wisdom. Minerva Medica, stormy-eyed Athena, Pallas, Hippia, Athena Promachos. Is that how you say that? Promachos?
As far as I fucking know, I don't speak
Okay.
Greek.
Whatever name it pleases you to be called. In Olympus, I have offered you praise and thanks when I have sought your knowledge, and offered you 2 lives spent seeking wisdom. I request your aid now, in your great city's time of need. It is run by fools, and those you would consider sacred and kin are faced with prejudice. I desire your guidance, if you're willing to give it. I vow to do what I can to help the Minervans and beyond, Mediterra in its great time of need, with the wisdom of 2 lives, 2 roads that have intersected, guided by what you see fit to offer me.
There's a moment of silence, and Stefano snorts and says, "Well, I think she's given us her answer. Now," and as he's about to lay into you in one way or another, there is a horrifyingly loud cry as a shadow falls over the open hole at the top of the temple. And you see a massive bird land on the perch. A most grand and terrifying owl, outclassed in size only by the largest of rock eagles in all of Midgehheim. As it stares about, its eyes focus on the 5 of you. It spreads one of its wings wide and lowers it down as if to offer it for you to climb up on its back.
Oh boy. Janice looks to you, the rest of you, like, shall we?
Surely.
Goes already by the wing.
Yeah. When the giant mystical owl shows up and offers you a ride, you don't say no.
There's some fey places. You don't fuck with weird owls.
Yeah.
Especially the last name is Archibald.
Janice offers her hand to Cassidy, like, gentleman-y, like,
Cassidy takes it.
and yeah, she leads. They lead Janice Cassidy up onto the owl.
You ready to see some serious shit?
Uh-huh.
The owl?
That's out of character. That's out of character.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if Bruce leans down and says that, I'd be intimidated as fuck.
The owl flies off with you all on its back into the sky, and as it soars above the cloud line, you see a larger but far more humbly built temple. Something of a much older style of construction, very much like the very few buildings of antiquity that remain. The owl flies you in and lands at the door and waits. And you see emerging from the temple is the towering form of Minerva, who lowers her own arm so Bubo can perch upon it. And as she looks at you, she shrinks until she's almost of human stature.
Right.
She looks at you all. She is in many ways similar to Mars in that
I
she's
could see
completely
that.
clad in this in armor. Her armor is bronze rather than copper, but a similar quality, and with leather straps. Her legs are not quite human legs. That she's bipedal, but the legs are more like these long columns of segmented armor. Her arms though are far more humanoid in stature. They're not just the giant swinging cords of armor plating tipped with razor claws. She has more discernible like elbow joints and fingers on her hand. Both her hands are covered in falconing gloves, or I guess owling gloves in this case. And on her shield she bears the severed head of the Gorgon Medusa. Her face has a very stern and calculating look set on its mask, and above the mask is a helmet shaped very much like an owl perched on her head. She adjusts the glasses over her nose after looking at you all a disconcertingly long time and says,
A shiver goes down like his spine because it's like, oh no, this reminds me of my mom.
I was about to say.
"Mommy Athena."
Probably
Look,
reminds people.
Look, we were all thinking it.
She
We've
probably
all been
reminds
calling
a lot of
Athena
people of their
mommy.
moms.
She adjusts her little pince-nez glasses and says, So, I've heard your prayer. Come inside." And then she abruptly walks away.
He doesn't say
Oh
it.
god, he's a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it, but in the back of Gore's mind, he's thinking, "Oh, she's as bad as he is."
I was like, all right. Rushes forward, pulling Cassidy with her. She does not let go of Cassidy's hand, so if Cassidy had bones, they'd be getting crushed.
You follow Minerva into her palace, her temple. And much as it was with Mars, the interior isn't quite what you would expect. It is chaotic in the way a very busy multitasker's space is chaotic, which is to say, actually, there is an order to everything. All of this makes sense to them. Don't fuck with it.
Yes.
There are
I
several
understand this.
half-finished projects, not unfinished projects, half-finished projects that are in the process of being finished, and yes, they have to all be out at the same time. That's how it works.
Moon.
I cannot control when the muses strike me, and then gives
Me
a
looking at
menacing
all my
glare.
half-finished drawings.
There are stacks of
There.
books, some of which she was in the process of reading, and others she has begun reading, but it's important to cross-reference them while reading because that's very valuable for making sure that you connect all these different streams of information. And that's how it's supposed to be. This is what's working.
Yes.
She leads you all to a table and gestures for you to sit. And it feels very unusual because while there are some open spots on the table, there's also several stacks of books and things. At least 5 different bins full of different colored thread for weaving. Um, a couple of small looms.
Hi.
She jerks her arm a little bit, and Bubo flies off to his more normal perch in the area, where he sits, looking very proud and regal.
Mhm.
She slips off her Aegis, the shield of Medusa's head, steeples her fingers, and says, "So, you met my brother?"
Yes, we have.
Not what.
He seems
He's expanding his
nicer.
horizons. Good for him.
Yes.
She nods appreciatively.
He's putting important effort into something important. And the way he has explained his knowledge, his logic is honestly very impressive.
In a single-minded sort of way.
She nods more, thinking. And it's strange, even though her face is just this motionless mask set in a somewhat stern librarian-esque expression, you can still somehow sense the gears of her mind constantly turning through each social interaction. Perhaps just in the fact that she seems like only halfway there when you're talking to her at all times.
Weirdly, I kind
Yeah,
of
her mind is thinking other things.
is it weird?
I know she's like me for real.
I kind of imagine
Yeah.
her head rocking back and forth like a pendulum of a clock.
I can see that. She nods several times to show to you that she listens, because sometimes people have trouble understanding that.
Yeah.
This woman is extremely ADHD.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. And I kind of autistic.
No, straight about
And
it. She is ADHD.
she looks at you all and she says, "I know the wisdom of us staying out of mortal affairs has held true for many generations. I was one of the biggest proponents of our taking a more light touch, and Mars was an opponent of that idea. But I think in this circumstance, Mars may be right."
Then she
How
suddenly
hard is her?
explodes.
How hard is it for her to say that?
I think it is.
I was just
It's
say,
not.
I think it's unexpected, but like I don't think she struggles to say that because
she doesn't
like-
think Mars is an idiot. She hates essentially just him being an idiot. From my read, anyways, if that's correct.
Yeah, she doesn't struggle to say that at all, but it's also clear that she kind of expects you guys to take that as a revelation.
no, Janice just nods.
There's indeed like kind of a sharp inhale of whoo.
That yes, makes sense. With
And
what's
then
happening with his followers.
for she drums her fingers on her table for a second and looks away. There's an odd, awkward, palpable silence as she fidgets for a moment, and then she finally says, "He and I have a rocky relationship as siblings." Again, saying this like it's a revelation and not a well-established fact for
Yeah.
over several hundred years. And then she's quiet again. She says, I have said and done some things that were hurtful. And Mars is proud. And his pride, when wounded, it's very hard to mend. I don't want to emasculate him by helping him, and I don't want him to be alone. And as I said, he is right. You will all need our help. Do you think that's right?
That sounds
Yeah.
right.
It does.
She
I
nods.
think that when differences have occurred in the past and whatever those may be, that the circumstances happening in Mediterra right now are dire. And it would be foolish not to work together.
She nods. Good. 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 Then
I heard you.
let's discuss strategy.
Janice,
We have to go to dinner. Sorry.
Janice looks like they're about to explode. Like, oh my god, I'm talking strategy with Minerva.
I didn't think I would get this far.
Yeah, I didn't think I would get this far. I thought I was gonna have to lie my fucking ass off.
And she says, I see a lot. I have, this is not a boast, this is a statement of fact. I have the ability to understand and see things on your plane of existence to a scale that you cannot physically comprehend. But that also makes narrowing that information down so that you can comprehend what's important sometimes difficult for me because I don't completely understand your perspective. So I think it would be best if you led with some questions, and I do my best to answer them in a way that you comprehend. I apologize if that sounds egotistical or arrogant. I understand that sometimes I come off as rude and brusque when I'm simply trying to state the facts accurately.
You're fine.
She is so autistic. No, that makes sense to me. I have. There are a lot of things. Just since being in Minervans, I have found that my point of view has been changed by emotions at everything.
Yes, I heard your speech in the Coliseum, and I really, really agreed with it. I'm glad that they allowed you to make your prayer to me. It gives me more of an excuse to be able to do this. It might have been harder otherwise.
I wasn't sure it would work.
She looks at you quizzically, and she says, you should have more faith in yourself.
I'm trying, but I am still coming to terms with who I am as myself currently.
She looks thoughtfully. Huh.
I am.
Did you think I would be biased because of your physical condition?
No, absolutely not.
Good.
I wasn't sure you'd be willing to speak to me because, well, as mentioned, you've all taken a step away from Mediterra.
She starts to nod, but then stops, and the mask takes on an expression of a, well, I mean, sort of. Says, we've kept an eye. It's just she drums her fingers anxiously on the desk again. Father needs to keep it in his pants. The constant. It made things weird. Cheers voice. There was a 10-year war. All of his half-children were killing each other. It was weird.
I can. Yeah, that would make sense. That would be weird.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, you would know a thing or two about awkward meetings between
Yeah.
siblings, wouldn't you?
I just had an awkward conversation with my sibling yesterday night. And it only got worse.
I saw. I wasn't sure why it went so strangely for you.
because it's difficult to tell your.
You were stating the facts very clearly.
I was
I
egging him
know.
on a little bit.
I was stating them as clearly as I thought I could, but I didn't use the best words.
It's weird, isn't it? It's strange how hard this is.
Yes, thank you. When the two of me, one of me was so much better at this talking thing, but the other one was so much more awkward. And now that they're together, I feel like that's taken the difficulty in speaking sometimes and just ratcheted it up.
I've been accused of arrogance several times, and so I understand this is going to sound arrogant, but sometimes I do believe that the others are the ones who are bad at talking, and we are doing a very good job.
Oh. TT, I fucking love her. Oh my god.
Athena is both being very real, and also one must acknowledge at the same time she is a god and she has a bit of pride in her.
Yes, but I fucking adore her.
And she's also completely wrong in some regards, but you know.
She is
that's the
incredibly
thing.
autistic.
Yeah.
She's incredibly autistic, and she knows she's the smartest person in the room, and doesn't think that's even up for discussion.
She's also aware that's not even technically true, but she's also still the smartest person in the room.
So Athena has opened the door for you to get to ask her questions.
Okay, yes.
And she is going to try to answer them as honestly and completely as she can while making her answers comprehensible to mortal minds.
Okay.
Which is a limitation that may keep her answers from being perfect for your purposes, but they should still be helpful.
Yeah. What do I need to do to get the High Philosopher off his throne? I feel like being here and
he is
speaking
the
to
source
you,
of several problems. It's my
more
city. I'll
than
take care of
several.
that.
Oh.
Oh,
Boobo starts getting restless.
I had to sit and talk to him, and the things he said.
Yes, there have been several men who claim to be my high philosophers and there's a flicker of anger on her mask.
Ooh.
It's still a very calm, pragmatic, in control, logical expression. But just that little tinge of anger does send a chill down your spine.
Yeah.
Who have used my name for purposes I do not appreciate. And unfortunately, because somebody won't keep it in his pants, I cannot directly intervene. Because if I do, I'm giving him an excuse to do his stuff. It's been very frustrating. I've tried to send signs, but they get ignored quite often. Which, again, I feel that's not my problem. I feel I am communicating quite well. I'm sorry. I feel like I am accidentally letting some of my anger seep out onto you. You are doing fine.
Thank you. I'm doing my best.
She sounds like
This is the the equivalent of like being fuming and steaming,
Yeah.
where she has
sounds
to
like
stop
the-
herself.
She sounds like the strange daughter talking about her drunk dad in an AA meeting.
I mean, essentially.
It's not even an AA meeting. It's she went to meet like someone to talk about work, and she ends up dumping on them out of the pool.
Yeah. That is. If you. Wait,
She waits for you to find your words, and you sense just a bit of sympathy from her mask. She's been there before.
what do you know of the great city of? Oh God,
Ozymandias.
thank you. Of Ozymandias.
Emerald City.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She is quiet for a moment, lowering her face towards her steepled fingers, and you get a twinge of an expression that's either amusement, annoyance, or some mix of both. Ozymandias is an incredibly intelligent wizard who has saved many lives thanks to his ingenuity. I would not call him wise.
That was what I was afraid of.
But it does seem inevitable that your paths are going to cross. And then her eyes, or rather the holes in her mask go wide for a second, and she covers her mouth and she says, "Oh no, sorry, I looked in future. So yes, you're going to have to meet him.
Oh God.
We already knew
I
that.
apologize. That was an accident."
So we already knew that. We have to give him the thing
Yeah.
because we signed the contract. It's a binding
Yeah.
bullshit contract.
Finding.
Oh,
We knew.
well, good. Good.
Is it safe to give him this?
She looks at the Philosopher's Stone, and being a goddess, picks it up and spins it around in front of her eye sockets like it's a petty bauble. Yes, this will not allow him to fulfill his purposes with it.
Okay.
It's incredibly flawed.
Wow.
Very poorly made. Needlessly
It was
cruel
made
production cycle.
Yeah, as if it was made by just the shittiest wizard.
But great, Minerva. Is that what you prefer? What do you prefer?
I am a goddess. I am whatever name you choose to call me, so long as it is respectful.
But
Yeah, maybe we should mention that he's gathering a lot of
yeah,
stones.
I was about to.
I have been called Minerva. I have been called Athena. I have been called Pallas. I have many names. Most of them are said with reverence and dignity, and that is all I ask.
Of course. Ozymandias is gathering many flawed philosopher stones. We
Yes,
worry that
he is looking for a flawless philosopher's stone.
we worry he might not be doing that, and he might attempt to use all of the flaws he gathers to create a perfect philosopher's stone.
That is a workable idea, though I do not think it's in character.
No?
Ozymandias is a proud man. Not in quite the same way my brother is proud. But perhaps he would want to accomplish this by himself. At least the crafting of the stone. He wishes to prove himself a great wizard and a great intellect. And the creation of a philosopher's stone is only possible by the greatest of intellects.
At the
But
very
he's-
least, he'll have plenty of examples of what not to do.
Yeah, but he's gathering the stones. If he wanted to make it himself, wouldn't he just try?
If time weren't a factor, perhaps, but he is racing against a clock.
Mm.
Oh. What is... Can you tell us what the clock is?
You know, the Mars militia is trying to conquer the entire kingdom, the entire empire of Mediterra. And
so
they know that Ozymandias' fortress is, and until it falls, will remain, the biggest threat to their dominion.
that makes sense.
You have not been there yet.
No.
No one there died of the plague.
Nobody?
No one. Ozymandias successfully kept the Red Death out of his doors.
That's...
And as I said, while I would not call him a wise man, he is intelligent. And he has created wonders there. At the moment, it is a stalemate. The Mars militia does not have enough power to take him out, and he does not have enough power to face them and the army of Jupiter. But once one of these three factions has enough power to turn the tide, they will try to wipe out the other two.
What of what we have started forming?
You have done formidable things, and she stops for a moment, and she pulls something out from a drawer, and she passes it to you. It's a very unique peacock feather.
Oh, is this a hair? Is this related to Hera, TT?
She looks at you and she says, "Mother says to thank you for protecting her city."
Oh,
Aw.
Aww. Tell her that it was our pleasure. That city was beautiful, and
She nods.
I think we might have gotten the mayor and Puck together.
She nods and she looks off for a moment. She says, "People don't give Mother respect very often. It makes her sad."
Aww.
I was
Kind
half
that you look
expecting.
out for her.
I was half expecting it's like, oh, and after I had to give you this for that.
No, you haven't gone to Aphrodite's place yet.
Oh God. Eventually,
You have built some strong alliances, but you don't have the muscle yet, as they would say.
no. Of course.
Cunning and wisdom get you very far, but one way in which my brother is wise is that you do need a certain amount of force on your side in given conflicts. There is the possibility that Ozymandias could prove a reasonable ally. There is a possibility you could enact change within the Emperor's men, and perhaps even a possibility that, should the leader be ousted, you could reform the Mars militia.
We have the beginnings on that front, perhaps. Dirk. He was able to.
I believe
able to
the one we met was Corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Court,
Dirt is
No.
our leader.
Dirt is the leader of the militia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Could have sworn that
Grind was the nasty one who attacked Minervans. Corpse was the one you guys saved. Dirt is the Grand Leader of the militia.
Okay. Corpse. We were able to remove the enchanted armor, so he could speak directly to your brother.
Yes.
He's
He's very fond of Corpse.
Oh,
Aw.
I'm glad. Corpse seems a good man.
Yes.
if I may
It's
speak,
nice to have a personal connection with a follower. You may speak, Alexi.
um,
Sorry.
sorry, I request clarification on an insinuation you've made.
Yes.
Whether or not that means if we keep doing what we do,
I need more
and
of
if
that.
we and if we were to dismantle the militia, would that just open the way for Gepitomy's army to take over? Or Ozymandias? Or any one of them? Is maybe it's just I'm worrying overly much, but are you suggesting that in the natural course of trying to help things out, we're just going to end up with a war?
She looks at you and there's just it's the first time you have a very firmly registered emotion on her face. A look of just absolute heartbroken pity. War is terrible, and it ends lives, and starting a war is never wise. But it seems an unfortunately recurring situation in your world that war breaks out. And while I wish I was not needed in matters of war as counsel, the fact remains that wisdom is required to end wars and end the suffering they bring. The seeds of this conflict were buried long ago. They were going to break out. If it was not the Mars militia and Ozymandias, it would be others. As soon as the plague hit, all of these buried resentments have been allowed to bubble to the surface. I am sorry that you have lived to see these times and not happier ones. And I am sorry that this conflict has drawn you into it. But you will need wisdom to make your way through it. And people will need your wisdom and your bravery if the people of this land are to make it through. It is a lot to ask.
I have an inquiry.
Yes.
What do you know of the the missing demons of Malabulge?
I try to stay out of demons' affairs. I do know that in the wake of the Red Death, a great number, title drop, a great number of demons have decided to play up on the surface, and that they, like the rest of the residents of Tartarus, are not necessarily all on the same side. If some demons have been imprisoned, I would imagine it is done either by very powerful exorcists or perhaps even other demons with a grudge.
Gore is actually going to turn to Alex and he say, I think you've forgotten something. Like, if we were to dismantle the Mars militia, they don't just evaporate. If they understand under the heading of Corpse or whoever comes out of this civil conflict, they could very well join our little group of independence. It's not removing a piece, it's transferring its power.
That is honestly preferable.
Even if only a third of them do so, it's more than enough to make a point.
They think that they are following Mars's direction. If they knew what it was, truly, that would probably sway a good number of them.
So yeah, it's just the entire point of fetching Mars's pet for corpse.
Yes. It's possible that they may join our. Yeah.
Some, she knows. Some.
Yeah.
You must understand that following a god is often an excuse, not a true calling for some.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, if
Yes.
even a third of them do this, or a tenth, it's still plenty to bolster.
In fact, you do understand that because you have been in my town of Minervans. I've seen the number of people who have used following me as an excuse to lord superiority over others without cause.
Yes.
Any other questions for the goddess of wisdom?
Well, I'm sure there's
possible-
plenty we could ask, but he is very whelmed.
Is it possible that we could teach Ozymandias wisdom?
I think
Why?
so.
Hmm.
But it would be difficult.
Yes.
Well, like I might have some, but I don't think it would be ones that she wants to say.
Yeah, Gore's made a point not to speak when talking to when it comes to the gods. Stay the fuck out of this nonsense.
She has been very nice.
No,
She
it's what he's done each time. Sorry.
her eyes flicker to all the people who've been quiet, and she remembers all the times she has been the quiet person at dinner.
Yeah, I think she's the last person to go,
Do you
yeah,
guys
speak
want
up.
snacks while we talk?
What was that?
Snacks.
Do you all want snacks while we talk, or
Yes.
Figures that's
Yes,
what,
please.
that's what piques
Crayons, maybe?
Cassidy.
Yes, please.
If you were so kind. Yeah, food will get Gore to speak up. I mean, to the god.
I will.
she waves her hand and plates appear of trail mix.
Nice. Because
I like sorting them into different piles.
that makes sense.
Aww.
Because it's a very economic, fucking food. You can eat on the go. You can literally win wars off it. And
It's healthy.
Yeah.
It's generally stuff that keeps for a long while.
Mm-hmm.
And also, she likes separating it into the different types of pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love her so much, TT. Oh my fucking god.
She sees the mix of trail mix. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Absolutely.
It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Absolutely grabs a handful and shoves it into his gob.
It's the best fucking trail mix you've ever had.
It's not hard, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. It's like a very underwhelming compliment.
Like, his eyes go wide, just like, holy shit, trail mix is... He doesn't say this. It's like, holy shit, trail mix is allowed to be good?
Fresh fucking craisins in there.
Yeah. Joking
We
aside,
make a nut medley, and it is the bomb.
Yeah, joke aside,
There's
I
also,
have
like-
had good trail mix.
With the trail mix, there's also like some coloring pages.
Aw.
Oh,
Absolutely take one of those.
Would you like a booster
It's
seat
an
for your
owl.
green child?
yes. She is my favorite. Oh my god. Do you know how I would be able to? This is not related to anything of great importance, but a way I could get more things that Cassidy could eat.
Oh. Well, since you are seeing Ozymandias anyway, I will tell you that within his towers there will be several solutions to Cassidy's corporeal problems.
Oh,
What about Prospero?
She looks. He is dead, but the one you seek, the servant, the guardsman who threw you out so that you would die outside his walls, he remains.
Yes.
I believe that if I aided further in that, I would be treading on the territory of Nemesis, and I would rather not.
oh, fun.
Oh,
That is fair.
oh, well, that's like his family's patron.
That's fucking revenge right there.
She already thinks I occasionally take her thunder, and I feel bad about that.
Oh,
That is fair. That is fair.
Like if Frozen Brown is not just wait. It's like to think, wait, why is? I mean, my mom makes sense, but why my dad?
maybe we could find somewhere to pray to Nemesis later. Cassidy.
Oh, we've
There-
already invoked it once.
There's a place you can pray. She
Oh.
pulls out a map of Mediterra. I gotta find exactly where it is on my map. Give me a second.
Mhm.
And yeah, that makes sense. Here.
Thank
Oh,
And Pluton.
Not Pluton. Here. And she points to this area where several roads cross.
Oh,
Here in the Bleak
Oh.
Lands, there is a secret city organized by several clandestine organizations
oh fuck.
in worship of the Symphonic gods,
oh,
Oh fuck.
other than my uncle Pluto. There you will find temples to Nemesis, to the Furies, to Hecate, and Nyx and others who guard the secret and arcane and occult forces.
Holy shit. Would we be able to go there?
It may be difficult to find your way to Crossroads, but fortunately you are already acquainted with a very powerful witch. The High Priestess of Hecate, in fact.
High Priestess.
Wait.
That's in character.
Alex choking on a peanut.
Who is the
Auntie Miranda.
yeah, turns to Alex.
One moment.
Alex, you did not know that.
Yeah, I figured he didn't.
Your aunt is not just the most powerful witch in Mediterra, but she's also the high priestess of Hecate?
I mean, that kind of makes sense when you think about it.
One kind of preludes the other.
More than that, you have kith and kin to the Baba Yaga.
What?
Like it looks out. Yeah. So-
Were you not
so-
aware?
Yes. That makes sense.
I'm
I would
sorry
explain why
that
there's demons after him.
I'm sorry. The name seems somewhat familiar.
Oh,
Do I know what Baba Yaga is? Who?
I assume you probably called her grandmama.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I have only vague memories. That was such a long time ago.
Well, it will be rekindled soon enough. Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Sorry. It's another
Curse the
prophecy.
get the prophecy.
He is sinking further into the chair.
Not that
Yeah.
often.
Alright, Oh.
I'm surprised you have not asked the question that you were planning on asking yet.
Remind us again.
You said you were going to take care of the high philosopher.
Yes, but that was not the entirety of your plan.
Oh! Wait, how do I become high philosopher?
And she looks at you, with incredulity, as you stand before Minerva herself.
I say so.
They realize, like, have I been a faux pas?
There's two guys in here.
I'll be forward, and when she stands up and she approaches you,
Oh god!
she lifts up a hand as if to touch your shoulder, stops, hesitates, wondering if this is actually a moment where physical contact is
They give-
appropriate,
They give her a nod.
and then very tenderly and awkwardly puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "The last time I personally chose my high philosopher was in the 10-Year War,
Oof.
and they did not recognize him.
Ooh.
And I cannot guarantee this is not going to be the case with you, but I do swear to you that you will be as legitimate as Odysseus and Telemachus.
Ooh.
But this is a responsibility. I charge you to be wise. I charge you to be just. I charge you to honor not just me, but what I stand for.
Yes.
No
I want
callous
to-
brutality.
No.
No needless harm.
I want the chimera to be free, to be able to choose, to learn. I want not just one person to lead Minervans, if that is amenable.
She nods.
I want
It is
the
often wise to make sure one's thoughts are peer-reviewed.
yes. I want the leader of the school. I want the military leader, the high philosopher, all the somebody to represent the chimera.
She nods.
I want to make a council. I cannot stay in Minervans now, right now, as there's other things that I need to do, but I want, if I can, I want to set up this council before I leave.
She looks
If
at
I'm
you and
able
says,
to.
"What they do not understand is that the High Philosopher is not meant to rule my temples. It is not meant to rule my cities. The High
Oh.
Philosopher is meant to bring wisdom to all. Odysseus was sent around the sea for a reason. Telemachus was in Ithaca, an island that was built for Hermes. They were not chosen for me, but I chose them because they are wise. And your wisdom is needed in all of Mediterra. All of you," she says to the whole group.
Oh.
But she looks at you specifically, Jonas. "But I am offering this position to you. provided you accept and understand fully the responsibility I am asking of you. Pragmatism, calm thinking, strategy.
They they kind of like look down like, oh.
Act of wisdom and act of foresight. I am not asking perfection. You are not a god. But you must do your best to keep true to my principles.
I will. I will. I will. I will do my best to be wise, to seek counsel. They look at everyone else at the table. I will seek your guidance.
Julio.
What?
Neat.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
The gift of foresight.
She pats you on the back. Good job, champ.
Yeah, you all got that Riz. Go.
If her bronze mask of a face could blush, it would.
This isn't a question. I get. This is similar to my question about Cassidy. My sister is alone. And Gwendolyn will be coming with me. I want to teach her. Is there anyone who could? What can I do for her? She can't travel in her state.
She thinks
It's
it's
unsafe.
There is a person in Minervans who sought my counsel, who unfortunately did not win the right, and so I do not have a loophole within to easily approach.
Eyes wide. The Gorgon?
She nods, and she goes up to her Aegis, and she plucks one of the scales from Medusa, and extends it to you and says, "Bring this to her, and tell her it is my blessing."
I will.
And that to any who would dare judge her for what she is, know that if they do so, they are crossing paths with the goddess of war. And that the only price for this boon is that she watch over your family.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
She nods. There's a bit of an awkward silence as none of you have questions, and she doesn't know how to end this interaction.
Yeah, Micah would have many, but doesn't say them.
Oh, but now's the time, okay?
You can ask for a private audience, She wouldn't know to say that, but I'm going to tell you as a DM. You can ask for a private audience.
Would it be possible to have a private audience?
Oh, yes. I understand. I also don't like talking in large crowds. She says, with 5 other people in the room.
Yes.
God, I love her so fucking much.
Yeah.
She is. I love her, TT. I love her.
She shows you to a private spot, and then her body language gets more stilted as she's like she just clearly does not feel comfortable talking to people that she doesn't know super well.
Is Artemis like the only person she gets along with, and all they do is sit in the same room and vibe together?
I would say historically she gets along really well with Artemis. She gets along as well as anyone does with Hephaestus. Um,
That makes sense.
she finds Apollo really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Her relationship with Mars is strained. Her relationship with Aphrodite is strained. I think she likes Hermes when he's not being like at
Hermes.
full Hermes, you know? When Hermes dials it back, she likes him, but when he feels like the need to perform, she gets really annoyed really quickly.
She likes Hermes at a distance.
She likes Hermes when Hermes respects her boundaries.
She has a decent relationship with Hera. Um
That's
she respects and loves her father despite his many apparent faults. She fucking hates her Uncle Poseidon. Is very fond of Aunt Hestia. Understands what's going on with Hades and Persephone. Has a decent relationship with Demeter. Like she's not completely alone amongst the gods.
That's good.
But also she goes to her room a lot
Yeah.
to just sort of get away and focus on something that makes more sense to her than social interaction. Anyways, you're alone with this
Yeah.
incredibly charismatic god.
She is, though. You laugh, but she is.
She's got that autistic girl swag.
Yes, she does.
This is do you happen to I have two. Do you well three. I have one for Alex for one. Who
Okay.
although for,
She stops you a second. She holds up a finger. She says, "Take a breath. Think it over. It's all right. This happens all the time. This is normal for people to experience."
for Alex, I would like to know who are those pursuing him. As for myself, you clearly know where I'm from and who. What is my grandfather?
He's a demon.
Well, his name's, if you know.
Rubicante, Red and Rabid. Soldier of the Malebranche.
Oh, that.
I forget his exact rank. I don't think he's quite a Marquis. An Earl, maybe?
That would explain why my mother never talked about him.
I don't understand why they have ranks of nobility, but demons do a lot of silly things.
That would-
The imps that were sent after Alexei are technically servants of a Ruslovakian wizard whose name is, and then the words that come out of her mouth are garbled to your ears.
Oh. That's a powerful wizard. And someone
He has
knows
made
how
a
to
pact with, and then again the words that come out are garbled to you.
Oh. In the dark of the night.
It's tied up in some extravagant political business in Ruslovak that really should have been resolved a while ago, but I suppose there must be some loose ends. I can't fully understand what's going on over there. That is the domain of a different pantheon than ours. And we've never really had a very strong reach in Ruslovak. If you do go to Crossroads, I believe followers of Hecate may be able to help you, both with your specific demon situation and with Alexei's.
Thank you. And I suppose I'd also answer my other question of why would my family be, well, my father specifically have the patron god of Nemesis.
Your parents are anarchists.
What? What's it?
They believe in a world without kings, and honestly, they're right. Kings are terrible.
Wait, such a world can. That's a.
It's how dragons live. They do fine.
You know, kid, turns out your parents are kind of cool.
Your parents have assassinated many political leaders.
What?
Were you not aware of this?
No, all I know is my mother was a monster hunter and that my father was some sort of.
She was. Those politicians were horrible.
Sure.
Most are.
Minerva,
Holy fuck.
I dare say your parents are pretty base.
My mother could, but
You should talk to them. If they might have an ability to destroy the crown of the emperor. That'd be pretty funny.
the crown of the emperor of Genitonia? Not
The crown of the
Genitonia.
emperor of Mediterra. Mediterra. But it's held in Jupitamy, yes.
Is the crown special, or is it just for the meme?
Oh, all crowns are special in Midgard.
Oh, right.
Fisher King syndrome, which
God, what if the Red Death was caused by a fucked up Fisher King syndrome?
To be honest, it probably was, because one of the problems caused by having a bad king is that a king that is sufficiently morally or physically corrupted invites weakness and corruption into the country as a result.
Holy shit.
To go like my favorite example is Macbeth, where once Macbeth is crowned king, horses start eating each other and all sorts of other horrifying shit starts happening in the kingdom, in addition to all the murders and ghosts and shit. Like if your king like it was literally believed that if you have a fucked up king, plagues and disasters are going to befall your kingdom. Like that was the idea in the Middle Ages, and in Midgard, that's literally true by the system of magic that is crowns and scepters. If you have a good person who's a king of a crown and a scepter, the kingdom prospers more than it might otherwise. But if you have a fucking asshole on the throne, shit's gonna get bleak.
Yes, their inner strengths and deepest flaws are refracted over an entire country.
And of course, it's not perfect because nothing ever is, and there are some times when disasters happen and it's not a king's fault, but people blame the king. And there are times when prosperity happens in spite of an awful king. So like it's never a perfect system, but generally that's the idea of a crown and a scepter in this world. And Mediterra is the only country within Midgard that has been united under one crown rather than several. Which makes the crown of Mediterra, which is held by the leader in Jupitamy, very powerful. But maybe not as powerful as it used to be, given what's happened in the wake of the Red Death.
Applaud.
You gotta love it when you're able to get away with saying it'll drop as much as possible.
It's really fun. It's fun for me. This has been a fun session for me specifically.
This is so fucking fun.
How many did they kill?
Sorry, what's the context for that question?
Like it was like asking to herself, like if they killed a lot.
They are
your
actively
parents?
killing more as we speak.
Oh, I'd say a few dozen each.
Fuck.
Mostly minor aristocrats and noblemen, but they got a few dukes and I think at least 3 kings.
Oh, that's a big deal in Midgard, isn't it?
Yes, that is a very big deal. I mean, granted, because succession crises are fucking terrible as a result of the nature of crowns, They do a very, like, over time they have refined the ability to bounce back from those quickly. Because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where no one's crowned king for 7 years and everything starts going real bad to shit.
Yeah, you'd also think that that'd be talked about more. That a bunch of like kings were died.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I feel like I'm really intruding upon a personal conversation that you should be having with your parents.
No, thank you. It clarifies a lot.
Yeah. She fidgets for a moment. I have trouble talking to my father.
Aww.
That's me with my mom.
He's nice, but he has trouble listening. Anyway, she motions you back to your friend.
Thank you.
Then they walk back in. Janice is just like staring up into nothing, like.
You're staring at the giant bird.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
one
with the
solo
bird.
time with the autistic goddess.
I would have just a
say
simple
lovingly.
question.
Yeah, okay.
Alex will approach Minerva. So, Alexei, that you've been calling me Alexei.
Is that not your preferred title?
Well, as far as I knew, I had a. Well, it's close, but as far as I knew, I was just, my parents, or at least the people who raised me these last few years, they just called me Alexander.
That makes sense. That's a much more Mediterranean name and makes it easier to hide you.
Yes, that ties into my question. These last few days and weeks have, I've been learning a lot about me that I never knew. So, just how much more is being kept from me?
Again, you see that look of sympathy on her mask. Quite a bit. She fidgets and then she puts a hand on your shoulder. Some of it's being kept out of love. But that may not lessen the sting when you find out. And some of it is being kept for your safety. But then, well-intentioned as that may be, I have never been of the opinion that lack of knowledge keeps people safe. When she looks for a moment, she says, "My father ate my mother and absorbed her essence in an attempt to keep me from being born. And I carved my way out of his forehead, and my mother's gone now. Or I guess is fused with him. It's strange. But his current wife adopted me as hers, even though I am not related to her. And we may not be related in that fashion, but that does not make her bond with me any less real. So don't say that the ones who raised you are not your family because they are not yours by blood.
Of course not. Yeah, of course. I know they loved me. There was never a doubt in my mind. It's just this other family I seem to have. Did they love me?
Oh, Alex.
Of course,
this is a private conversation.
Oh, did you go in a private room, private spot?
Yeah. This is a solo conversation. Okay. Of course they did. It's not my business to know, but The one thing I have been able to observe is that you are very much loved by more people than you know. And while there is one who hates you for reasons that I find superficial and pointless, you should not let that dwarf out the fact that you are loved and you are valued. And it is not because you are a Charmiel or because you are a farmer's son. It is because you are a person with all the rights that any person should have and all the love that any person should be owed. Have some goldfish crackers.
Thank you. You'll solemnly munch on them.
Hi. Hi.
Hey,
Yes?
any other solo talks? Any other questions?
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Why did this happen to me? Us? Them?
Magic has a will of its own. That's a question for magic.
Oh, I can't exactly ask magic.
Oh, yes, you can. Every
What?
spell you make is a conversation. That's why it has its own language, runes. That's a bit of wisdom you're supposed to find it on your own. But I think I can give you a freebie since you're my high philosopher. And then she gives you a mischievous smile.
There's like visible like body.
If you're all ready, she says, I'll take you back down.
That would be appreciated.
Yes.
That's
Minerva
very
leads you
nice.
out of her temple and balloons to a more Mars-ish size, and then holds out her hand for you to climb into it.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
The yeet.
Oh. Will I be able to speak to you again?
Yes, just pray.
Good.
Pick a god
When
and
you're-
pray.
It's like, yes.
When you're all safely in the goddess's hand, she takes a step off her temple and falls through the clouds, and then, without so much as even shuddering as she lands,
Fuck.
her feet touch down inside her temple. In front, to the point where everyone in Minervans just sees a literal fucking goddess of war drop out of the sky and land in the temple named after her.
Mm.
She lands there, places her hand down on the ground so you can walk off, and then looks at Stefano Milan. I don't like you very much. Get out of my city. And when those words leave her masked face, Stefano Milan is literally propelled by the force of that god statement out of the city of Minerva.
Holy shit!
Literally,
Does he go full Team Rocket?
When you withdraw your invitation to a vampire.
Like, it's literally like if there was, it's like there's an invisible string on his back, and he's just pulled out of the city, all the way out through past the city limits, and he can't get back inside.
she kicked him from her Discord group.
yes.
It's not violent. It's not violent. It's just very sudden. And distantly, you hear his screams as he tries to get back.
Oh, I know what sound comes out of his mouth. Yo!
It does because she is wise and knows that sounds fucking funny.
Is he going to be a problem in the future?
Probably.
If he does, kill him. Goodbye. And then she, ascends back into the heavens in a beam of light, and all the people of Minervan stop and look at all of you, the 5 people who've apparently
Yeah.
made direct contact with the goddess for the first time in several hundred years.
She's gonna
We
put a hand on your back. Well, you're the high philosopher now.
She is refreshingly straightforward.
yes, it was.
Maybe
I-
start with that philosophers weren't supposed to have power.
Yeah, I have been chosen by Minerva to be her new high philosopher.
Bunch of people nod, and one guy's like, "Yeah, no shit."
And my first piece of wisdom that I will share is that having the high philosopher be the leader of Minervans is a fallacy.
Folly.
Folly.
You full on have a Life of Bryant moment saying, "I'm not the Messiah," to people saying, "You are the Messiah."
But I know what must be done. Chimera of the city.
Bunch of them look up.
You will be allowed to learn what you choose. So says Minerva. Oh. And one amongst you who you believe to be the wisest will join the new ruling council of Minervans.
There are some murmurs, but you just got chosen by a fucking goddess of wisdom. Who's gonna fucking question it?
And stop treating women like shit. I shouldn't need to say that. I shouldn't. But I am. And if I find out any of you are, I'm going to tell Minerva.
Some of the ladies point to some of the particularly dickish people in the town. They're like, "Whoa, whoa!"
Telling on you to mom.
Now,
All
of
right.
course,
But no, keep going.
I will not force anything upon anybody, as that would go against what I've started saying here, but I will propose it to this council that will be formed. There is a coalition being formed of humans, fae, various cities in the wake of the Red Death. And if we of Minervans are willing, I think we should join as well.
Stress that it is not open only to humans and fae.
It is a coalition of all living beings of Mediterra. Those who have suffered through the plague, as all have, and those who have not, but have extended their hand to help those who have. This is not a new start for Minervans, but it is a change. A change, I think, for the better. Do not berate yourself if you have been foolish in the past, but look forward and accept that you must learn now.
I'm not mad at you. Just think of this as a learning opportunity.
Be better.
Or
Be
else.
better. That's what I got.
There's not like a huge raucous applause, but yeah, some people like do a little bit of a clap, and most of them sure nod. Like, yeah, well, that makes sense. And all right, congrats, guys! You baited the chimeras, and you've committed extreme social reform in Minervans.
Holy fuck! It worked.
It
And I have a
worked.
new favorite NPC.
We're gonna. It's 10:50, so I say we should probably wrap for now. But we'll do some resolution of this next time, and let's go back to the world map real quick.
Where do we want to go next?
Where do you want to head next? Ionian Forest or Bacchanalia?
Dianean Forest. I have a favor to fulfill.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
It's a straight shot.
All right, so
Yeah,
next
Dionian
time we'll be
Forest.
resolving any last minute business in Minervans, and then heading off to the forest. Yeah, let's play that funky music one more time, white boy.
God,
Congrats for solving a pretty tricky moral conundrum. Good night,
Holy shit.
everybody.